on YouTube. If you guys can hop on and do some likes and be in that YouTube, that would be great. And it help the algorithms. Appreciate it. All right. It looks like it is live.
Come here. Come here, Skool.
Let me go refresh the page.
No.
Your channel, go live. There it is. All right. Why is it not coming on? What am I doing wrong? Do some likes and be in there. Yeah, we don't need to hear me twice. I guess it's got a delay, huh? Delay time.
Most likely.
Yeah, it's got a delay. All right, let's try that again. All right, we got a good attendance today.
And we're still coming in.
Yeah, all right. That's always a plus. There we go. I see the light. All right, good stuff. All right, we got a good attendance. Yeah, let's kill the noise. Oh boy. I got it on the phone. All right, we got the noise killed. At least I can chat in case somebody gets on. Okay. All right. If you guys can get on that YouTube thing, that'd be great. Let me go ahead and get going. I'm gonna share my screen.
I gave it a like.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll appreciate it. Let me see. I got the right screen.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking.
All right. Can y'all see my screen?
Yep.
You guys can get on that. Well, what do you guys see? What do you guys see?
The community.
All right, good. All right, just making sure you're seeing what you're supposed to see. First and foremost, do some quick recognition. Zuli just referred an annual standard all the way from Norway. If you want to share, Zuli, a little bit about
Congratulations.
how you met this person.
Wow. Awesome, Zumi.
Uh-oh. Are you able to speak, Zuli? Oh, she's in the car. Oh, okay, she can't speak. Okay, no problem.
Okay.
All right. So this person came from Norway. I'm trying to connect with her to do her one-on-one because when you pay annual, you get a one-on-one. I did a one-on-one with Maria Turner. I know if y'all know Maria Turner out of California. Um, she was referred by Rich. Rich, you want to tell him a little bit about Maria? I guess Rich is not able to talk either. The California people, what's going on, Mom?
I'm talking. I don't know what's holding them back.
All right. So that was the recognition. Oh, she should be home in 15 minutes, so we'll have her speak later. Okay. All right. Going back to using Let's Go. Here we go. So today's topic is understanding a little bit the icing on the cake from yesterday is the difference between working on the business versus working in the business. Anybody know the difference?
Working
Action.
Come again, Lori?
Action.
Okay. Action. Okay, that sounds good.
Because
When
if
you're
you're
working-
working on the business, you're sitting, doing, training, thinking. But if you're action, you're doing better.
Okay, getting warmer, getting closer. All right. So working on the business is non-income producing activities.
Ah, gotcha.
It'll get you close to your destination, but it does not come back in return as income. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Working in the business, meaning income producing activities. That means you're going to have a much higher chance to get a return on dollars on those activities. Okay? So, right now, this is what we're looking like for the recognition. So, Zuli now have, so Tim has 3, and I believe Zuli have 3 that are active right now, annual. And she also has, let me see, she did have a premium, but I think he went back to standard. Okay. So I'll have to confirm that with Zuli. But looks like we're progressing, right? And Tim reached his 3. So we sent him back his 47. So that's kind of cool, right? So
Hey, quick question, Kim, on this one. So I was looking at my dashboard, and it looks like some folks, I had sent some folks, I guess, your way, but they didn't actually buy. Is that it? Because looking at the dashboard, it looks like 4 people, clicked on my link,
yeah,
but
we
none of them bought. Is that
we
it?
just recognize those who pay annual.
Ah.
Yeah, the contest was for those who pay annual, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then usually what we find out is that the ones who pay annual have a higher chance of purchasing the workshop because they see a need, right?
And to be clear, the annual is the $20, right?
Correct. Annual is $20, right? So they get an interview with me, and when I interview them, I try to help them any way I can and direct them around the classrooms. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I usually point out that we just completed a workshop with Tim Hess. Okay?
Cool. But it sounds like the folks that I guess didn't make it all the way through, because in the dashboard it shows folks, I guess, hitting the dashboard, but they just ultimately decided not to sign up. Was that it? Is that why I'm seeing 4
Where
there?
the dashboard? Where dashboard are you talking about?
And the
Yeah,
partners, the partners.
Yeah, the partner's dashboard. Let me go there now.
Oh, okay. In the partners dashboard. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that means they just visit the site, but they didn't purchase.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right. Well, they made it part of the way there, I guess.
You would get a notice when they purchase. You would get a
Okay.
notice. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Yep, you get a notice. So pretty awesome. We're growing. We still have 3 days to see where we end up for the goals of January, right? So that's pretty cool. Can't wait to see. And then let's kind of go to the training. I'm not sure if can y'all see this, or is this just me?
It's white.
I know. I don't know why it's like that. Hold on. I don't know why it's like that.
Put like
X-ray vision.
Put like heat vision on, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's like that.
Yeah. Hold on. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. Hold on. We're gonna make it look somewhat where you can read it. All right. I think this is a little better. You know
Yes.
what? It's only the top part that's white. This is weird. Okay. All right. Hey, it's not me. It's Microsoft Word. Okay.
Infrared, man.
Infrared. Yep. So let's talk a little bit about a quick side-by-side comparison, and then we're going to go more in depth. Okay. So Working on would be like building systems, strategy, clarity, one-time setups, leveraging long-term growth, right? Now, working in, it's more like feeding the system, creating traffic, right? Um, Execution, visibility, consistency, right? Daily action. But this is more of a short-term cash flow. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, in what we do here is you got to pay attention to your CTAs, where you direct your traffic, right? And then on working in the business, you got to focus on your content, your posting. You know, I discovered today that one of the big things with YouTube, it respects your consistency on the times that you post. That helps trigger the algorithm, both long and short form. Okay? And you want to make sure you learn to master your 2-hour magnetic workday. In the beginning, it's not going to be 2 hours. I promise you this. Because you're getting used to the routine, you're getting used to learning the skill. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But once you get the skill down, I mean, I got mine down to the T now, 2 hours. Okay? After I'm done working in the business, I start working on the business. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like when I work in the community, that's on the business. That's not in the business. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So let's kind of break that down. Okay, like a little bit closer, right? What did we learn from Tim about messages? Clarity, right?
Yep.
But keep your belief level high. How high? Undying high.
Undying. Undying.
Undying high. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I like to define it on a scale 1 to 10. How much do you truly love this platform? It's going to reflect your message. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's how you talk about it, how you promote it. Can they feel what you feel when you talk about it? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're going to sense it. People can smell a phony,
Yes, they can.
and it doesn't pay to be a phony. I promise you this. Okay? You want to make sure you continuously describe that customer of yours, right? Or the pain points. You go deep. Brahim does that really well, right, guys? So you want to go deep on it. I still got room to work on it. Okay. I do fairly well. We convert, we make money, but we probably could make more money. Okay. So when you create your hooks, have a strategy. In other words, when you choose a hook, think about whether it complements your pain point. Does that make sense?
Right.
When your hook complement your pain point and your call to actions complement the solution, you have a winning formula. But it has to complement each other. Okay? And you want to build it and refine it. And you want to be consistent. In other words, if you're sending one message, make sure that message is said 7 to 10 different ways. And it comes across clean, believable, authenticity from your heart, not from your head. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay? And practice, practice, practice until you don't sound like you're reading a script.
Yep.
That takes practice. Okay. Now, some of you guys are natural. I can't help it, right? But then some of you guys need more work than others. We all got to start somewhere. Okay. Y'all should see my first. You know what? I promise you this. Our next workshop, not Friday, that's the webinar, right? But our next workshop, I'm going to pull up some of my very first videos. Who would like to see that?
I would.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I'm going to challenge Brian to pull up some of his very first videos.
Oh yeah, I'll put up some of mine, especially
Nice.
with this, because it was different.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But this is to let you guys know that even Brahim and I, we're humans. We started the same way you started. We didn't start no different. Okay? So make sure you set up your automation. Okay? That's working on the business, but it's important. Do you have to set up the entire automation right away?
I don't think so.
No,
No.
but I would.
A minimum 10 days. Anybody know why 10 days?
Not a clue.
It gives you 10 days. You buy 10 days to set up the rest. Does that make sense?
Oh,
Yeah.
But meantime, your system is working. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
But you're just buying a leeway of 10 days, right? So, like Cynthia, we just set up what, 4 days or 5 days, right? You with us, Cynthia? Uh-oh. Might be an internet lag.
Maybe she's watching the YouTube because that's delayed by quite a bit.
I don't know. So anyway, she has a camera on. So I think there's a lagging in the internet. But anyways, this is important, guys. And you gotta constantly audit your system. What's the best way to audit the system, guys?
Have someone else take a look at it.
Open
That,
the website. Click on
but you should opt in your own website.
Ah, true, true. Yes, I do.
Woo. All right. So that way you know what's going out. Does that make sense, guys?
Hmm.
Yep.
You gotta opt in because you want to know what you're sending out and make sure that what you're sending out is working. You got to click on every button. And Cynthia is really good at that.
every button.
And she will let you know. You guys should be opting in each other's funnel. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Yep.
That's how you check and balance each other. Okay? Everybody good on that?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's go here. Here's the number one word you need to understand is leverage. A lot of you that are here refer the most people to the community because you know how to leverage. And I appreciate all the leveraging because that's how you move quicker. It has nothing to do with how good you are on sharing something. You see, when you're speaking to someone and you share something, you hold more weight when you have a third party validation sharing it for you. Because the person you're speaking to doesn't know your third party validation. So therefore, they can't pull their legs like they can pull your leg. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Right? I've done third party validation practically all my life. Okay? From the age of 18 till today. It's made me millions. Why? The only person that stands in the way in your business is you. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Okay? Now, naturally, you want a trustworthy third party validation, right? Well, You don't have to worry about that in this community. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Support is definitely there, right? And leverage is an all-time thing. Don't make it a part-time thing. Okay? Again, really focus on that 2-hour workday is the key. But before you get there, guys, don't forget to do your Kajabi homework. You guys remember the Kajabi homework we talked about yesterday, right? That's really important. That's what's going to set you up for success. Okay? So, next thing you need to know is the difference between awareness, consideration, and decision. That is a non negotiable. You have to understand this. This is part of the framework. Okay? You will never see someone who goes to decision without going to awareness and consideration.
We're not,
Go ahead.
I was saying, we're not seeing it on the screen, but I guess it's right there at the very bottom in the little letters. Okay, sorry.
So you need to understand that, guys. You need to understand that clearly. Okay? Because things got to be warmed up first before you can get into decision. Okay? This is part of building the process of the like, know, and trust. Now, let's go into the work in the business. Okay? So, this is where we talk about, wow, it looks funny because it's like half of it in the black, half of it in the white. So, it talks more into the 3 daily videos. When you follow the 7 seconds, 30 seconds, and 60 seconds, it'll make it easier for you to master the 2-hour workday. It's almost nearly impossible to create 360-second video in an hour. Does that make sense, guys? You're gonna run over an hour. I consider myself pretty quick, and a 60-second video takes me about 22 minutes. And that's from beginning to end. This is recording, branding, and animating it. 22 minutes. I time myself many times. Okay? You can ask Brahim. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, but yeah, when you're doing all that, it is pretty good.
Most of y'all have seen my videos, right? Who here has not seen my videos? Right? Okay? That used to take me 2 hours to do it. But when you do so many videos, it gets simpler and simpler and simpler. And then it becomes a routine. The key to doing it in 22 minutes is make sure you got battery in your mouse. Y'all supposed to laugh, man.
Okay, we're laughing.
You got jokes.
Y'all scaring me. Y'all might have to have your blood pressure machine near you. Now is a good time to check it. Okay? So, your 3 stories shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes. And that's still long because it's about 3 clicks of a button. You're taking the same content and posting it as a story. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Nothing more. Don't make it more complicated than that.
It's easy. As soon as you post your video, just add it to your story. As soon as you post.
The longest part of the process, guys, is adding your clickable link. That's the longest part of the process. Okay? Which is literally 1 minute. If that. So then you got to reply to your comments. In the beginning, you're going to struggle trying to do it for 30 minutes because you might not have enough engagement. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But then what happens when it takes you more than 30 minutes to coming back? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Good
Good
thing.
problem to have. Yeah.
That means you're making money. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Okay. So these are little things that all of us need to understand. These are indicators. Are you growing or are you not growing? Those are little things that you need to know to identify. Does that make sense? Presenting a webinar, that's income producing. Going live, man, I tell you, I didn't realize that I could talk. I didn't know. My strategy was pretty simple. The only thing that I talked about is first, the three major things you need to show up, how you show up, right? And then the three things that you need in order to make this work, which is no more than the cell phone, a laptop, Wi-Fi, and a social media account, right? But I was taking my time as I was sharing it and welcoming the people that were coming in the middle of it. Does that make sense, guys? Right?
Yeah.
And constantly giving them the call to action of where to go to find us. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I send them directly to the community. Okay? Let me tell you why. The concept there is you have two types of buyers. You got those buyers that buy with a fire hose. You guys know the fire hose of information, right?
Yep.
Because when all that information is on one page, I call that a fire hose. It's a lot of information on that page. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then by the time you leave that page, you spent 100, 300, 600, 900, or 1400.
Yep.
So guess what? Some people might go back and say, what did I just do? Because they didn't quite get educated. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
With a community, there's plenty of education. What happens when you have an educated buyer?
When you have a what?
When you
Educated
have
buyer.
an
They're more willing to
educated
buy.
Oh yeah.
guess
They're more
what?
willing. More willing.
Once they make that decision, you have a lesser chance of that person going to a buyer's remorse. Everybody know what a buyer remorse is?
Hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Yes.
Because they're educated. They didn't feel pressure. So therefore, when they pull the trigger, it's a solid yes. It's not like a maybe yes. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Yes.
And now, when you have a customer who call you and say, where do I start? What's your response?
Let's start here.
You start. No, this is someone who bought legacy.
Ah, okay, got it.
You start on your Kajabi phase 1 and phase 2. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Yes.
Pretty soon, y'all be able to say, start in this classroom because we're building that classroom for you now. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Mhm.
But for right now, Kajabi phase 1, phase 2. Make sense?
Yes.
Now, here's the key. You're going to send a new customer there. What should you do?
Do
Do
a
it
walkthrough. You should do a walkthrough.
do yourself.
Yeah.
Don't send somebody somewhere you didn't do.
True.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Because all it takes, guys, is for you not to be answered one question, and they will never listen to you again.
Hmm.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. If they know or sense that you didn't go through phase 1 or phase 2, and you're asking them to go through phase 1 and phase 2, you're done. They are done with you. They're going to go to someone else in the community that knows what they're talking about. And I'm telling you point blank, that's the reality. I never send anyone somewhere that I haven't been. That's rule number 1 in the people business. Okay? Rule number 2 is you don't ask someone to do something you're not willing to do. And trust me, are there those kind of people out there? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I guarantee you, none of them are 6 figures. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you want to make sure going live. I can't tell you. The hardest is the first time. So obviously, that's already out the window, right?
Mhm.
Now, we just get better each time we go live. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Yes.
So working in the business, guys, your first milestone is getting a video out. Even if it means to get out your first video. Some of you, I need your channels. Like Rich, I need your channels. I got Lori's, right? How can I mentor you if I can't see what you're doing? Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yep.
Right? Because I'm supposed to be giving you a feedback, and you should do the same thing with other people in the community. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
All feedback should be welcome. Okay? Why? Because another person will be able to see something you might not see. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
Go ahead, Martha. You got a question?
What is doing the webinar compared to going live? What does the webinar consist of?
No difference. It's the same. But a webinar could be walking somebody through the community. That's basically what we do on Fridays is walk new people through the community. When you come on Friday, you're coming on under 2 different intentions. If you're a community owner, your goal is to learn how to present. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If you're a non-community owner, you're learning how to walk through your new next subscriber. Does that make sense?
Through the community, through all the different
Through the
aspects.
community, from the beginning to the time they need to be getting results, right? So it's important. It's not that hard, guys. It's not that hard. First thing is explain to them how important the start button is. That's it. That's 80% right there of your walkthrough. Second, how they unlock the freebies. It's a freebie, but we ask something in return before we unlock it. Anybody know what we ask in return?
3 referrals.
They
The email address.
No,
they have to go through the educational piece first.
they had to screenshot the start as 100% complete, or they can pay $297 and get the freebies, and you get $140 commission.
Mm.
Are you going to be mad at them?
No.
You should give them a big hug, or maybe send them a postcard that might cost you $1.
Oh, good Lord, you're coming up with him, Kim.
I mean, what's a dollar investment after you just made 140 bucks?
That is true.
Come on, guys. That's less than a cup of coffee.
So Kim, if they do all of module one to start, had 100%, they get a freebie?
They get to open up the second module, which is the freebie that we give away.
Okay.
You know, there's over almost $1,000 worth in that freebie. You know the best way to find out what's in that freebie? Let's see who can answer this question. Come on, guys. What's the best way to find out what's in the freebie?
Do it. Go
VVIP.
through it.
Complete the start module yourself.
Yeah.
Ah, what did we just talked about earlier? Would you
Don't
send
ask somebody what to do. Yeah.
Yeah, walk the walk, talk the talk.
There you go. There you go. Look, we made sure, and to me that was very important because Brahim don't come to me numerous times. He's like, Kim, you got too much crap in this thing. How many times you told me that, right?
Don't sugarcoat it.
And then not only Ibrahim, his subscribers, they say, Kim, you got too much crap. You expect me to follow this? So it was really important that we narrow it down to less than 1 hour in one sitting. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So when we did that successfully, the theme of this is very simple, guys. What is the number one reason people come to PPP? They're not happy with their conversion,
Right.
correct? Isn't that not the reason they come to PPP, right?
Yeah.
So if they're not happy with their conversion and they don't want to continue doing what they're doing and they're willing to submit, if 1 hour is too much for them, they're not ready.
Mm.
They're just not ready. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, you're telling me, I want to be a six figure. I want to do this. I want to do that. But an hour is like 30 days to you. I'm confused. Does that make sense, guys? So, I'm going to tell you, we're going to master this start module so well that you're going to see a brand new person fly through this. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because those of you who have communities, we're going to master that start module for your community as well. I can't tell you how important it is. Okay? It is so important. Most people right now in that community don't realize how important the start button is.
Mm.
They don't. Because only thing they have in their mind is, when am I going to make money? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Martha.
Kim, I had higher numbers, higher percentages on the modules before you modified them. So I guess that's just part of life. When we lose,
It's always going to innovate. It's always going to innovate. Okay? We don't measure your performance from the past. It's just like this. You have your freedom machine. Do you audit it once and then forget about it?
and the freedom machine is what are you referring to? Get response or
No, your freedom machine is your legacy builder website, right? That's your freedom machine. That's what's called the
okay.
freedom machine, right?
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
do you audit it one time and forget about it?
Mm.
No, you continuously audit it. You want to know if you have a car, do you tune up your car one time?
Nope.
I hope not. You up for a big surprise.
Mhm.
So the Freedom Machine is our personal website that
Yeah.
we have. Okay.
You should constantly audit it. Why? There has to be a reason. If it's not converting, there has to be a reason, right?
Mhm.
Your job is to find out what that reason is. And you can't find out that reason unless you audit it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So this is really important. Okay. Now, you want to make sure that you go live 2 to 3 times a week or daily. I commit 6 days. Tuesday, no, actually 5 days. Tuesday through Saturday. Okay. 8 in the morning. We're going to do this for the rest of the year. I'm sure I'm going to get better each time I do it. No doubt. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
You know, how many people do you know go live the first time and they hear crickets? A lot of people.
Lot.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what completely threw me off this morning. As soon as I got on the line, there were 7 people that were actually engaging. And none of them were from Legacy. These were actually 7 real people. My number one fear in my head was, oh, here comes the trolls. Because I didn't know how to get rid of the trolls, whether it's YouTube or TikTok. So I ain't gone to that class yet. Does that make sense? So if there was a troll, guess what? I guess I would have to deal with the troll. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Then the next thing I knew, we were steady, and it went up to 17 until the
Whoa.
end. So my mind, I'm seeing like this. I must be doing much better than some people who just started. Does that make sense?
Yep.
At least I had somebody to talk to. Okay? So you never know, guys. You just gotta be consistent, show up daily, and make it work. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, when you get better, you want to learn how to repurpose your content. Those of you guys who are HBA premium, you have your own repurpose system inside of the system. So you don't have to go and spend another 400 for repurpose IO. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Pretty powerful. Okay? These guys, they know how to save you money and how to compete for value. That's one thing I love about them. Okay? Then you got to learn how to invite people and give them a free blueprint. Whether you invite them to your website with Legacy, whether you invite them to this community, they still get a free blueprint. Does that make sense? Because that's part of the freebie. Now understand, what do they get in this free blueprint? The breakdown of a 2-hour workday. That's
Yep.
it.
Freedom formula.
The blueprint does not have any legacy program information. It just go in really big details and breaks down the whole 2-hour workday, guys. If you guys truly believe in the 2-hour workday, guys, that's probably $100,000 piece. If I were to put a value to it.
Mm.
You know why? There's not a single 6-figure earner, okay, who doesn't know about a 2-hour blueprint and hit 6 figures. So that's why I say the value of it should be 100,000, because that's the number one tool of a six-figure earner.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And that's really important. You have to understand that. Okay? Now, let's go down real quick. And I'm going to show you guys, those of you who may or may not see some of my videos. Okay? Your first impression when you see the video, you're probably going to say, that's got to be hard to do. And that's normal, because you're probably not as tech savvy in the beginning. Does that make sense? But let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you realize how tech savvy you have to be to do this? Anybody want to give it a shot?
Not very.
Not that tech savvy.
Listen. Point, click, copy, paste, drag, and drop. That's a true story, guys. That's a true story. Brahim, have you ever seen me put a code anywhere?
Hell no.
I wouldn't know where to start to put a code. No, I wouldn't know where to start. Codes intimidate me. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
What are codes?
That's exactly. Make sure you say that way, Martha.
You don't want to know, Martha. You don't want to know.
Good, thank you.
You'll be more confused.
Listen, I just know where to click, where to point, where to copy, where to paste, and where to drag and drop. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is, every single tools we use, point, click, copy, paste, drag and drop. And that's real. It's just that he or she who does the repetition the most, guess what? Gets to become the best. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If you know where to do all that, you got to know where, like you said.
Correct. And the best way to remember is watch video over until you memorize it. Make sense?
Yep.
The fastest way to memorize it is to stop, play, stop, play, stop, play. What happens, eventually you get tired of stop, play. How many of you guys believe that? So getting tired of stop, play should create the urgency for you to memorize. Does that make
So
sense?
true. So true.
That's right. You know, it's kind of like this. The way I look at it, if my wife keeps telling me the same thing to do the same thing, you think that eventually I get tired of hearing the same thing? So guess what I'm going to do? To kill the problem, I'm going to memorize it so I don't have to hear it. It's the same thing with this business. Same thing. Whether we like it or not. Okay? So let me do this. I'm going to share the sound. And I'm going to click right here so you guys can see the latest one. All right, here we go.
What if the tools had a proven track? I used to use tools, very expensive, simple to use, but very low commissions. If that's you, this video is for you. My name is Kim. I'm a Navy vet, a father of 4, came from rock bottom to making 6 figures in the first 12 months. Hear it for yourself. They have to go through the same amount of contacts. They have to go through everything to make money. I respect them the most. Mike, 7-figure. Paul, 8-figure. They take away all the excuses from us. Does that make sense?
The co-founders?
Do the same thing. They earn their income like us every year. And they have been around for over 10 years. Can you imagine that? Coming from the bottom, back to standing on my feet, wasn't the worst part. The worst part was actually looking my wife's eyes, telling her that we came up short again. I made a promise that I would never do that again, and I was able to keep that promise in the first 12 months. Imagine having that solution. Imagine having a community that not only delivers the tools, but delivers the support. Real people, guys, not bots, not chatbots. That's what really, really impressed me. Now, all you need, Wi-Fi, cell phone, and a social media account. You have these three things, it's a done deal. 2-hour blueprint, guess that's a done deal. If you're tired of showing up every day, but you're still not converting, Common Impact, and I'll give you full access to this community with the free blueprint that worked for me.
Hey, was
What if
that
the
was that
tools had
skipping? Was that skipping on your end?
I do it on purpose, bro.
Really?
Yes, I learned this from a couple people that both 6 figures. They do
What's
it on
the
purpose.
psychology behind that?
When you make your video too perfect, you take away the hope of people. When you
Right.
put mistakes inside of the video, like even spelling mistakes, you actually give people hope that they don't have to be perfect.
Hmm.
It's a whole psychology to its madness. You also get more views, you get more engagement, and you get more conversion. It helps people keep in the video. Like if someone basically sees something that doesn't sound good, they're like, let me listen to it again just to make sure. Does
Okay.
that make sense? So
Yeah.
guess what you do? You get more watch time. You get more watch hours. Because they're like, you know what? Let me rewind and let me watch it again. And some of them may do it 2 or 3 times just to make sure. Those are the people who are analytical. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I didn't thought of it much, but when it was broken to me that way, it made sense.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
I hear you.
But the most important is the visual. Can you keep their eyes moving? You keep their eyes moving, they stay in your video. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's very important. But when you give them a standstill video, you hypnotize them.
Hmm.
Can people make decisions when they hypnotize?
No.
No. You stun them, man. You stun them like a bumblebee. So, and the audio is where it comes your message. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
So the visual keeps them moving, but the audio has to connect to them. If you notice, I threw in the hook, the same hook twice. Twice. In the beginning, we talked about rock bottom, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then right after the Opus clips, the vidIQ clips, this is where Rich came in. That was the clip from vidIQ. It was coming from the workshop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And guess what? Then I came in and added another piece at the end, which puts in the solution and puts in the CTA. But right before that, I went deeper in the hook on the pain point. I still said rock bottom, 6 figures, but wasn't the worst part. The worst part was never having to say that we came up short again to my wife, right? And then he went in on how we kept that promise in the first 12 months. You see? So now when you go deeper, you get emotional and you hook them and you connect them. Okay? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
How long was that video?
1 minute and 37 seconds.
Wow.
It's amazing what you can do with editing.
Yeah. So going back to your copy, paste, and so on, that editing seems like there's a lot more work involved than just copy, pasting, and Whatever,
22
right?
minutes, my friend. 22 minutes from beginning to the end.
So some of the writing on your video covered over other writing on the video. Was that intentional?
What is that?
Some of the writing on the video had other writing also right there that you couldn't read it all because someone was covering other writing, like double.
It's intentional because you do not want your video to be 100% perfect. You can go look at 10 to 20 of my videos. You will not find one single video that is 100% perfect. You won't. But it's done intentionally. The person who's watched me edit the most videos here is Breezy. Breezy, lately, when I edit a video for you, have I taken longer than 22 minutes?
No.
He's my witness. Talking
gone,
about.
you finished and gone eating noodles.
Hey, Ibrahim, he gave away the secret, bro.
It is very true though, because I know, especially on TikTok, like when I was doing my like highly produced, like when I was paying that dude to do my videos, they did not perform as well as just the videos that I shot with my phone and let go.
They were too perfect.
They were too perfect.
Interesting.
Yeah. On TikTok, that really doesn't play well.
Because you're sitting here telling somebody you don't need no tech savvy. Now they see all this tech.
Yep, they see all this stuff.
But when you see all this text with all the mistakes, it brings it back to earth again. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They know that you don't gotta be perfect.
Yeah.
But guess what? I remember when it took me 2 hours to do my first video on Discord.
Wow.
Nobody really walked me through it. We actually had to figure it out ourselves.
Yeah.
And guess what? Repetition. Repetition. You find a better way. You find a better way. This one is easier. This one is easier. Now it takes just minutes.
Yeah.
We're not talking hours anymore.
Mm.
Okay? But listen, today I did really good. Today we're done exactly at 7 o'clock.
Need that too.
All right, guys. I got another conference I got to go to with Michelle. So I'll see you guys later, okay?
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Take
Awesome.
care.
Thanks.
Good night.
Thank you for all
Bye.
you do.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.